Right. Hey, hello everyone. Welcome again to another exciting episode of new stuff on Dead by Daylight. Thanks for joining us. I have to say I missed you. I'm glad to be back. So, the first thing, let's say thank you to Francois for helping us make this relatively smooth. We'll see about that at the end. Thank you two, for joining me. So Janick is a game designer on the project, and Phil, you know Phil. Phil makes pretty things on the project, and he's got a really cool tag as an icon. Oh, all right. And now I also should take a second to thank our mods for showing up. We have Clyde, we have Duva, Giriwed, Murph, Shiroku, and Suggestive. We have a bunch of other people too in the Discord. Thank you very much, everyone, for helping us make this pleasant. So, today, as the title explained, we are mostly going to talk about the new chapter and how it came about. How did that happen? So, we'll take a few questions. Take your questions and put them in the chat. Our mods are going to look at them, and if they are relevant to what the hell we're talking about, they will ask them, and then we'll answer them if we can. That make sense?
Yes.
Sure.
Totally.
Good. All right. So yeah, let's get started. Oh, I have a note that I need to broadcast to people and remind them. So the new forums, the official forums for Dead by Daylight are up. I don't know if you guys checked it out, but it's really, really cool. We have official forums. They work very, very well. So the note I've been asked to make public is this. Please register on the new forums. A lot of it is going to be... we're going to use this as our main source of information for people. So anything that's happening about the anniversary, any new events, all these cool things about the game, this is where you're going to get the information. So register, make an account, and be happy and get your information in the right place. Okay. The paper is flickery.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that paper is super flickery. It's annoying.
Magical
I will
paper.
hide it.
I need it.
Well, look at it.
Like this?
Yeah, put it in your crotch and just look at your groin the whole time.
That's cool. We're gonna
Okay.
talk about balls anyway.
Good. Let's start with that then.
Sure.
Okay, so you are part of the design team, obviously, but
Yeah.
you take a big part of creating the new
I
player.
basically oversee the killer.
Killer
I
powers.
Try to manage what all the decisions from the design team are going to me, and then I pass them to the programmers, basically.
Okay, cool. So how do we create powers for killers?
Well, each killer have their own like different ways to become. Like sometimes it's a licensing deal. So other times it's a killer we have in the backlog. Other times it's a team vote. But in this particular case, we wanted to revisit the throwing, like the long range attack. And we also had developed on the side like a prototype that where the killer could send balloon, and we were not sure exactly what they will be doing, but like maybe aura reading or teleport. So they've asked me like look at these things that we have, and try to come up with interesting concept that we could maybe use as the next killer. So I created a few, but there was two that were standing most was there was the clown where he was being like throwing the balloons, and I'm not sure exactly what was happening, but I think it was like an aura detection, and where you could also teleport similar to the hag through the balloon, but you were activating the teleport and not necessarily you could use them to spy around the map. Anyway, there was that, and also another was the World War soldier, which was throwing grenades, like a gas grenade, because at the time they had a lot of fun with gas.
Mustard and such.
And he was like a bit freaky with the mask and everything. So Dave looked at these two and said, they're both very cool, so I want the clown throwing gas grenade, the power. So that's how this one came to be. And then afterward, we basically, we were not sure exactly what the gas will do. Because I've seen a lot of posts online where people said like, oh, the grenade should do damage, or like all these ideas were all
Tried
explored.
at some
yeah,
point?
exactly. Because the programmer on the project was McLean, and he had the good idea of making like a shit ton of add-ons that were creating different effects, and we could try them all very fast. And it didn't took a long time to notice that the damage effect was way too strong because of the area effect, the combine, and everything. So we scaled back things, and we figured out that the hindering effect was a really good way to.
It's a powerful one.
Yeah.
And just having people cough already, it's a
there was this
giveaway.
detection thing that we added, also the hindering vision that we added later on. It scaled back and it scaled through the production, and we visited different ways to make the power interesting.
It's interesting that we're having this very in-depth, informative conversation, and most people comment about the fact that we look a little yellowish green on screen. So there we go.
Maybe it's because I hate at the buffet. I don't know.
Did you?
Oh yeah. Okay.
I didn't.
No, it's not that then.
Pâté chinois.
Okay. Maybe it's that.
So what happened afterwards? You tested a few versions of the killer.
Yeah, maybe we could look at the video that will give like a little glimpse of what the power originally looked like. Because originally the power were just these balls that you could see. We added the smoke effect afterward.
Obviously.
And so originally, like there was no effect at all, so Survivor could easily
avoid
them. So we asked, could we just have a quick VFX? And they added something white, so people were mistaking the white for the mist. So that's when we added the color again. In this particular case, you can see that the generators do not have any collision with the balls. So you can spread them more easy around the gen.
But this is kind of interesting because when you're playing, it's not obvious how things react.
Exactly.
But this is actually a very, very good indication of how these things act. Why the little bit of smoke appears here and there.
Was there something? Oh yeah, also the size.
So someone is asking, what is exactly the purple stuff in the bottle?
In the bottle?
What's the purple
I don't know.
stuff?
Originally, I asked the clown to piss in the bottle, but they didn't.
It's purple piss.
No.
Okay. The blurred vision is awesome effect to bring, and awesome. What made you come up with that new status effect? So yeah, it's not a status effect, the blurred vision.
No, it's something.
But
new.
it's something new.
The thing is that
how did that come about?
We have blindness as a status effect, but it's kind of weird to tell you you're blind. Like you cannot have an indicator that you're blind. So it's something that we added. Like we know that the killer do not like to be blinded. Something that is very frustrating.
It's kind of annoying, yes.
Yeah, exactly. And by the way, we want to revisit this at some point. So we said that we're not gonna go with like a full blind effect. It's just it's annoying, and we don't want also to go with an effect that is too freakish, because on Freddy we noticed that people were getting sick. So we
it was a bit intense.
Yeah, exactly. You never seen this version, by the way. The Freddy
the early versions we were working with.
Yeah, exactly. People were just really not liking it. So we came up with this concept that like the slowdown was interesting, but for a very high level player, like it wasn't maybe like effective as much. So we tried to explore like this vision effect. So we did different version, and we also have 2 levels of intensity. One that can be added by showing directly at the survivor. He's more blinded, by the way, killers. And also if you equip the add-on that make the blindness more intense, it's also the same result as being hit by the ball.
Cool. Someone says, make gas invert controls for survivors. That would be horrible.
Exactly.
You die immediately.
No. I think like everything that when you remove control of a player, like people hate this sort of stuff.
Yeah. All right. Do you guys plan to have themed chapters that match the season, meaning a new killer that reflects an aspect of that particular season? I think it's more going to be the other way around. As in, you know, the chapter is going to theme the season for us, not the season is going to theme the chapter.
No.
There you go.
Yeah.
So right now, let's say we're releasing this chapter, which means that everything that comes with it will have the flavor of the traveling circus.
Not all of them, maybe, but the fog travelers.
Yeah, that's it. That's the correct expression.
They're thematized with the release we're doing with the clown.
Did you guys take any inspiration from films for the clown killer? Maybe that's more a question on the visual, because on the power, it's not really from specific film. It's really like
I don't think I've seen this.
old stories.
Yeah.
You know.
The films were mainly used for the look. Not
Sometimes
bottles,
it's a bit of like references for visuals, but not really.
No.
There's no specific film that comes to mind with a clown that.
Not like this. Well, for me, like many of the add-ons, I looked at maybe too much serial killer stuff. Yeah, but except that,
No.
nothing comes to my mind.
And also, we often look at like popular culture to make sure what to avoid, because we don't want to do what's known somewhere. Or, you know, sometimes it's looking around and making sure that B movie that nobody's seen. It could be the exact same idea, even though we didn't copy it. But if you're doing the exact same thing that already exists, it's gonna.
There's no connection with John Wayne Gacy, not at all.
No.
Seriously.
I mean, there's creepy clowns everywhere.
Yeah.
So, okay. Anything else you want to talk about? Oh, the perks. Yeah, let's talk about the perks.
Maybe just quickly. The size of one ball is smoke ball is 1.6. So it covers because there's 3. So it covers roughly 6 meters in total. If you want to go in the details, and also another effect that I don't know if is known, but if a survivor stays within a smoke ball for 0.4 seconds, he removes the smoke balls. So he
breathes it in.
Inhale it, whatever. Yeah. So maybe it's a little strategy that survivor can try to exploit.
All right then.
Yeah. Maybe they'll go. Or else he might be falling asleep before. No?
It's okay. Have a nap.
No?
It's nice.
Okay. I'll go with the perks then.
Yeah, let's talk about the perks a little bit.
I can't.
Because then we'll get into the visuals and.
The perk creation are created. I mean, during the process of creating the clown. Usually, what we do is that.
We have a special guest just coming to say hi right now. I thought you would like to meet. Yeah, come on in, please. Just come here. You don't have a mic, so you can come behind us and say hi. This is the voice of Kate, Daphne, who works in the finance section of the company.
Great.
So thank you for joining us and coming to say hi. This is the voice of. Will you scream for me? No, don't, please.
It's a bit too loud.
So not the original voice you heard at the beginning of the PTV, but the one that will make it to the final game. So yeah, there. Thank you. There you go. Looks a little like Kate too. Yeah, well, there you go. Yes, that's the new voice. Everybody likes Daphne now. Okay.
So for the perk, we look a lot of what people post online, by the way, like keep doing this, it's very helpful. Even though sometimes we cannot use it as is because sometimes it's really site driven. So killer create perks for killer and survivor create perks for survivor. But we get the ideas sometimes, and it also gives us like a different concept that is very cool. So we have a big backlog of maybe I think 300 perks that we collect from the web or other places. So the first step is that I look at those. I pick up between 15 to 20 perks. Then we have a design meeting together, like all the design team, and we trim down to 10, and we also have discussion and change them or whatever based on the feedback. So from there, from the 10, I create a survey that I send throughout the whole team. I think we are about 80 people on this mailing list.
Yeah, something.
Okay, so I receive about usually 40 answer-ish. And so people give their comments and suggestions and rate them, so I have a score of what is the most favorite of the lot. And after I compile all the results, I try to trim them down to 4 or 5. And then we have another discussion meeting with only the design team. And that's when we decide to usually at this point, we look at the killer or the survivor and try, based on his lore or like storyline, try to make them fit. Like if you come up with, I don't know if, you know you have a big tough guy, then you're not gonna create a perk that is sneaky, for example. Or you're not gonna choose a sneaky perk. So from there also we look at what is possible to do with the lore. So we try to trim them down to 3 about this process. And then afterward we post them also on Raven's Roost to get their opinion. And we also make sure that they are feasible with the programming team. And then we start prototyping from that point. Yeah, that's about, yeah. Oh yeah, and afterward, once they're done, we choose the name, the fun part, and the icon are created based on the name.
Yeah, and that's usually when Sarah goes through the list and goes, how the hell am I supposed to do this?
What is bamboozle?
How does that pup goes the weasel? Am I supposed to do that in one? Fuck that. So yeah, she's got a potty mouth. All right, so, well, thank you. If there's other questions about this, you'll stay until the end.
Sure,
you can't go anywhere. So,
oh, maybe I can have
seriously, you will never stop talking. No, it's.
I have
go
2.
on. No, it's super interesting.
Yeah,
so please go
super
on.
interesting. I have 2 examples of not taking
perks that didn't make the cut,
Exactly.
but are still in the bucket for maybe some time.
Yes, so
Okay.
you can maybe give us your opinion about those. So on the killer side,
Okay, so this is where we put the big notice everywhere that says these are just ideas. It doesn't exist yet.
Yes, it's just on these sheets, right? Okay.
Go.
So killer.
Yes.
Every time you break a pallet, you receive a token. After receiving 2 tokens, the next broken pallet will be instantly broken. And then all the tokens are consumed. So it's an instant hit. Like,
So if you have it at level 3, every 3rd pallet is broken instantly.
yeah, exactly.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
And on the survivor side, it's while in the dying state, 55, 65, or 75% of your recovery progress is converted into wiggle progress if you are picked up. So it's
That's an interesting one.
It's an anti-slug
Yeah.
sort of perk.
And it's an interesting one to see, like how it's tough to figure out exactly how it would act in game before you prototype it.
Yeah.
Cool.
So these were not, I mean, they were really appreciated, but they were not retained, maybe because they didn't fit the chapters or whatever. But yeah, maybe you'll see them at some point.
People keep telling Phil to shut up. So.
Yeah, shut up, Phil.
Who's the voice of the clown? Do you know?
I did a part, and the sound guy said I've done too much
many
voiceover
killer.
for a killer, so we let somebody else doing it. It's Seb's valid.
Oh, is it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, cool. Oh, so maybe we'll get Seb at some point. He doesn't want to show his face. He does not want to exist on the internet, I believe. He's proudly got a flip phone.
Yeah,
A pager.
Yeah, I think he's got a pager, actually, yes.
Yeah.
in an enormous collection of shirts.
All right, we love him to death. Okay, so that's it. Let's go to Phil and talk about how the visuals of the clown came to be.
So the clown, me and Dave sat down a couple of times, did a lot of brainstorming, and we agreed on some stuff. We wanted our own clown. We didn't want to mix it with Pennywise because everybody was familiar with Pennywise because it was out, the movie was out, and we didn't want any typical clown.
We didn't want to do the Joker. We didn't want to do the big ones.
And we tried a couple of stuff, and sometimes it was looking like a Joker, sometimes it was like. So it was a long process, but I think we did something cool. We wanted to be gross, disturbing, but really strong.
Yeah.
Because
It needs to be scary.
Yeah, scary.
There's a lot of people who are asking also because obviously fear of clowns is quite a common thing.
Yeah.
And is that something that stopped us, or was it a concern, or?
It didn't stop me, but we received a couple of messages. But I mean, it's a fear like other fear.
Yeah.
At some point, you need to face your fear.
You
But
don't
mostly-
need to look at his face, right?
No, but seriously, we know we're making a game that's supposed to be scary,
Yeah.
so there's stuff in there that's going to be disconcerting for some people
Yeah.
more than others. Like, we couldn't avoid clowns forever.
No, I think it was a big, not topic, but killer that I think people wanted to see, and I think it was a perfect timing for it.
There you go.
The other thing, it's a clown that you don't want to invite to a kid party.
Yeah, that was very important.
Yeah.
I don't think he does balloon animals.
No.
He just,
Maybe in some very special way.
yeah,
Yeah.
no.
No?
That's,
Okay.
no.
Cannot believe.
Maybe.
But the most important thing was we want him to be 100% believable, not magical, just like it could exist in real life. Like we were thinking, okay, you're
It's
going
not
back home.
supernatural.
No. So that was the main kind of focus we had, and if we can check the images.
Okay.
So yeah, there was obviously the ringmaster.
So this is a much more wholesome version.
Yeah, that was when he was training hard. But the thing we like with the ringmaster is all these colorful tones and the kind of the rich part of the shoulder, like the gold and all those little details. If you go to the next one. The medicine man, he's like doing his own potions, and he's traveling around, well, not the world, but the states, but in the realms, he's traveling in between the realms. But now he's settled down in one tile. It's like, okay, I'm sitting down there and I'm gonna track some people. And we thought it was one of the good reference for.
Yeah. There's always something. It's like the Doctor in a sense. It's someone you're supposed to trust,
Yeah.
and then they betray that trust, and that's scary.
Yeah, that's how I guess people read the story about the clown. So he gradually become the clown because he started
He's trying to hide.
Yeah, hiding, stealing the outfit from other performers, and he got comfy in his clown outfit. So then he was able to attract more people to his caravan and medicine hole. And obviously, clown. But we didn't want to stick to this image of clown, which is very typical. So next. So yeah, we really like that design of the suit.
It's very classic.
Classic circus-like ringmaster. So with all this, we went to conceptual phase. We started playing. We knew that we wanted him to be gross, pretty big, like our biggest killer, like not in terms of
You
muscle.
need it to be like a silhouette that's impressive.
Yeah, and we started with some faces. He was too
Jolly.
jolly, but I mean, he was like a funny clown. Like we didn't want him to be funny, like not funny at
One
all.
of the things that we also hit on that's very upsetting to look at is someone that's obviously a face that's grim or unhappy or angry with a makeup of a smile is super upsetting because of the dissonance that it creates.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that we looked at.
Next one, so yeah, and we went with this. It reminded me
It's
too much
a good
about
one.
Yeah, it reminded me a bit of Spawn, Violator.
Yeah, it's very Violator.
So
Great movie, by the way.
Sure.
John Leguizamo, I love him in there. He's probably the best thing in the movie. Still, move on.
So we're still searching for a good look, and we kept on looking, and then we ended up on some disturbing faces on the internet, and we started playing with the face and the eyes. We didn't really see because they were pretty dark and black, and so we started really liking where we were going. So then we end up with this, which was a good starting
This
point
was
for-
the image where everybody agreed we were in the right place.
Yeah.
This is the impression we wanted to get, which is close to what the final result is.
Yeah.
Someone is asking, it's slightly related about Dwight's snake oil merchant outfit. Is it a Red Dead Redemption reference? Well, it's like asking if a cowboy hat is a Red Dead Redemption reference. No, it's got nothing to do. Although I'm looking forward to that game.
Yeah.
Like everybody else on Earth, but no, it's got nothing to do with it. It's just a thing that exists.
So at this point, we had the ringmaster element, the clown element, the creepy, disturbing face. We already said that he would carry his ring of fingers all around and his switchblade. Next one.
Yeah, a few people are asking, what's with the finger thing? It's super creepy, is what it is.
In the story, is while he was growing up, he really enjoyed collecting feathers, and this feathers.
I mean, it's trophies, it's
trophies,
memories.
Yeah, slowly turned to a rush of killing like animals. Then, at some point, he switched the feathers for the fingers, and he really liked the taste and how it feels in between his hands, and
It's his thing.
yeah. So if we go back, so this is the naked body of the.
Yeah, we always create a naked version of the characters to start with, and then we dress them up.
Yeah, Daphne did a great job. At first, it was too symmetrical, so we wanted some part of his face to be a bit more like gross, like he had like some fat on one side and not on the other side, or something is wrong with his face. So and then we started texture, and then we tried a couple of makeup. Some were too much like Joker. Then it was a lot of time and iteration, but we finally end up with this one, which we all like.
Yeah. Does this killer pave the way for perhaps a bigger bodied survivor? We tested stuff a little bit with David King, having someone that's not the exact same shape as the others. We went a little outside with that.
But the rigs are different for like the sculpt and how we build the killers and the survivor.
So it's not equal, but
no.
it could be possible at some point.
I think everything is possible.
How are they gonna vault through a pallet? Over a pallet?
I don't know. They need perks.
Which fingers does he have on the ring? Are they from the 4 starred survivors?
I think not.
No, it's
other people.
Yeah. Well, you can see in the add-ons like some of the names.
Oh yes.
Like originally we had more, but we removed some because it wasn't fit. Yeah.
We stayed with 4 because there's 4 survivors, so we agreed some simpler because we had like at some point 7, 8. Like I think it's too much fingers. So then we after this we checked for the weapon. We wanted same thing as the clown. We wanted something that everybody could have in their hand. So it's
something very down to earth, very real.
He's from another time also, like an older time period.
Yeah, his switchblade. It's like a real weapon that everybody could own, and it's a weapon that we wanted to animate or play with in the idol or animation. So we thought it was a great.
Someone's asking if Stéphane Horvat's pen spinning was an inspiration for the idol for the clown.
No. So then we went on the conceptual side, and we wanted to keep the natural look, the wood, and for the blade, we wanted to bring the feather-looking aspect that we really enjoy. So next image we can see in the game.
Variations on that.
Yeah, and the shape is really leaning towards a feather more than the concept, but it's...
someone is asking if the fact that David King is slightly bigger, he has a bigger collision box. No, he does not.
No. He was born big.
Yeah.
And sorry, you have another.
No, well, someone's asking about motion capture for killers in Survivor animation. So
We did some a long time ago.
we did some a
and-
long time ago, which is mostly right now left in the locomotion. Because all the animations that are bespoke for gameplay, things like hooking up, carrying, picking up, all these things have so many specific requirements from gameplay that it's very difficult to take some mocap and use it as is. We have to transform it so much that it's sort of not useful to have mocap done for that. We have very talented animators who can do the job. Mocap is usually much more for flavor stuff, like idles, like locomotion, like
and really complicated.
or like gestures or something that's very, very human emotion,
Yeah.
not gameplay. So we might use it in the future
Yeah.
for more stuff, but no, not so much.
But you have to like think 3-4 months in advance because it's always
Yeah.
taking forever to get the data to.
yeah, then
go
clean
through
it
them,
up and
clean
prepare
it,
it and everything.
Because I had this discussion with animators a while ago, but what they told me also is that because our game is really like time oriented, like it's really.
There's time periods.
Yeah, exactly. So all our gameplay is very time precise, and when you do this with like a mocap animation, it doesn't properly.
Yeah, because it's hard to scale it.
Yeah, exactly.
Then it doesn't look right. Can the clown have a honking sound when he gets pallet stunned?
Let's do it.
It's a little silly,
The squeaky
Yeah.
shoes. or
but that's a moment for him to cough and spurt and
Yeah,
makes
that's
body
especially
sounds.
what we wanted to avoid. We didn't want him to be funny or in any sort. I'm pretty sure he's good in telling jokes, but
Yeah.
he's pretty much a killer and a disturbing one.
Why do the huntress and the clown both have pitch black eyes?
It's a good question.
Do you have an answer?
It's their soul. It's dark.
Okay. And the others are peppy? It
No,
just
but,
looked good and
yeah,
it worked
the,
well with the characters.
The clown was helping us to have this even more disturbing because you don't know if he's looking, staring at you. It's just in front of you and it's looking at you
Yeah.
somehow. Is there any other?
Well, I don't know. Did you have more?
Yeah, I have
okay,
others.
let's keep going then.
So for the it's real.
So that was the original concept for the secondary outfit.
Yeah, and then we said let's do a real clown because
He has a job.
Yeah, he has a job. So this one is more of a typical clown that we wanted to do for the other outfit. Yeah, so Damien started doing the mesh. We wanted this mask to be more of a wood carved mask with a painting on it because it's an old
Yeah, old school.
clown. And then we have the, and I think it was just great.
One of my favorite things with that outfit is when you're running around and you're looking down and you see the pompon right there.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
It's
Try it. Oh yeah. Why don't we have rainbow hair for the clown? Well, first of all, the time period makes it that rainbow hair was not a very popular thing at the time. I don't think that rainbow wig was available in stores back then.
But we could check in the future, and like we have so many other ideas for variation. So
Can you guys show the in real life clown Maury like you did with the Huntress? Yeah, I don't think this one was actually created in real life.
no, no,
Sometimes they are, but not this time.
nobody would be able to work because everybody would be missing fingers. And
Yeah, so do you have, yes, more?
And then the razor, which is another cool weapon that we said, well, another weapon that he could grab everywhere and everybody could see in real life. So this razor was, I guess, before applying his makeup, he's shaving or then he said, well, you know what, I can shave with it, I can cut finger with it. So then he actually...
New favorite thing.
Yeah, so here you go. You have some variation of the razor blade, which act as almost as the switchblade. We wanted to keep the same kind of
Same movements.
movement, pivot point when it's opening, so we had to stay on the line at the same thing.
No.
And then the bottle. We wanted the bottle because of his past history of alcohol. His dad was a lot in alcohol, so we were like, okay, well, let's take a similar bottle, but a more medicinal bottle that looks a bit like a gin bottle.
Yeah, there's some good references for that too.
Yeah,
everywhere.
and we ended up with the Afterpiece tonic.
Yeah,
The Afterpiece is act or a musical work after.
the main piece.
Yeah, so I think everything was.
It's the precursor of staying after the credits for the little snippet after the credits in the movies nowadays.
So yeah, all in all, it was I think the beginning was a pretty hard. Like we wanted to stay away from the typical clown. Then, as we went along, we found some nice ideas, and I think we came up with something cool.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we'll see some clown in the convention. And
In the prototype, we were throwing beer bottles.
Yes.
It was fun.
What's the story behind the horse? Do you want to talk about the horse?
So the horse had a tragic fate. Is awfully burnt by the entity, and he's blind.
But he's got a third eye.
Yeah, he has a third eye. The entity gave him a third eye to see, because pretty much the entity is controlling the entire horse, because the horse is
Dead.
dying.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Forever.
So yeah, I thought it was a great idea. Like I wanted him to stare at the survivor when they were coming close. He's like the best friend of the clown, the Jeffrey Hawk. I think it's pretty disturbing.
It's a nice bit.
It's a good set piece.
Yeah.
And if you want to impress your friends with your in-depth knowledge of Dead by Daylight trivia, you can tell them that the horse's name is Maurice.
Oh yeah, Maury.
There you go.
And he has some black puke coming out.
Why was the map set in the asylum theme?
Who would answer that?
Well, it was time for us to make a new asylum map. The same way that we wanted to revisit the swamp, we always wanted to be able to revisit the themes that we created because they were really cool. We wanted to expand on them, and this one felt like an appropriate match.
And we did the chapel.
Yeah. And then we added the carnival stuff in there.
Carnival stuff.
That's one of our most boring answers to a thing, I think.
Yeah.
All right.
But that would be today, or I don't know who to answer that. But
Yeah, maybe we'll revisit that question at some point, but yeah.
But yeah, we
Will
we
you
had
be
to-
implementing more environmental vaults on map, like the one in the caravan?
volts?
Like the vaults in the caravan? Like you're jumping over
Oh.
the caravan back instead of just the windows like usual. So this one is a slightly different. Same way we did with the swamp, we're adding the logs and
Oh, yeah.
things. So once in a while, when it fits with the theme, we do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right now it was.
So yes, the answer is yes, we will be doing that again at some point in the future, very likely. Where does the VHS porn come from?
I don't know.
Just showed up one day.
Yeah, exactly. No,
Oh,
but,
yeah.
it's just I thought that because he's more from the 70s-ish, sort of. And I guess serial killer have sometimes a thing for kinky stuff.
Okay.
So I guess maybe he made some homemade movies. I don't know.
Where's the VHS?
About him making balloons.
There's an add-on called the VHS porn.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. Where does the clown keep his bottles and gas? Well, that's
Bottles
like the
and-
extra tank of gas on the hillbilly's chainsaw. These are things that are sort of not we're not doing an absolute realistic recreation of things.
Just about the reload, but originally we wanted to have the same mechanic as the Huntress, where it goes in a locker.
Yeah.
But I thought that why remake the same mechanic when we can explore something different? So yeah,
There you
that's
go.
how it came to be.
And there's no more space in the locker.
There was that detail.
Yeah. Did you want to show some other stuff you had the first icon?
Well,
but,
after the PTB, we made some
oh
change.
yes, let's talk about that a little bit. So that was the first time we actually released everything on the PTB before the actual release of the chapter.
Exactly.
So you let us know what you thought about that. We thought it was a good idea because it helped us find a bunch of issues which we probably would not have been able to catch in time. So that was great. Hopefully you'll get a lot of better quality stuff as we release things that have been through the PTB.
It's very helpful also to cut on because players like to go in the details of things, like very in depth and try, because we are a limited team here. So I mean, we don't have a chance to try.
And we don't have a representation of every single play style.
Yeah,
in the
exactly.
team.
Yeah, exactly. So
what changes did we do?
the first thing is that we noticed that there was maybe a too large range on the time effect penalty on the when they enter, like the time. One detail is that, because I want to clarify this, so when a survivor is inside the gas, he's affected by the Ender effect. And the 2 second, well now it's 2 second, before it was 1.5 second, start after leaving the cloud. So the effect is actually longer than 1.5. And if the
because
survivor...
if you stay in the smoke for a bit,
Yeah,
then you'll
exactly.
have the effect
So-
as long as you're in there.
And if the survivor catch the worst path and goes through the whole thing, it can be affected much longer. So we had add-ons that also increased at that time, and we noticed that maybe the range was too wide between the lowest and the highest. So we revisited the effect. So now we changed the base power from 1.5 seconds to 2 seconds, which is a little boost. But we diminished the
add-on
either
effects.
5% from 1.5 to 0.33 second, the other 10% from 1 second to 0.66, and the other 15% to 1.5 to 6%. So I think the maximum you can get is 3.75. Anyway, so it's much tighter range. So because people were complaining that maybe it's too dependent on add-ons, fair enough. So we visited those. And
Those are minimal changes at this
Yes,
point.
exactly.
It's not critical change,
Well, we
which
look-
might come in later, but for now,
but we look
it's
at the
just-
stats, and his kill ratio is really good. Like,
Right now.
yeah, exactly.
I mean, obviously, these are very early stats,
Yeah.
but they're still representative of how things are right now.
But I think at some point he even went over the Billy, not by much, but he was first.
Does Pup Goes the Weasel regress 25% of the whole gen or 25%
Yes.
of the current gen progress?
Yes, I wanted to clarify this too. So yes, it's a really good perk. It regressed from the whole and not what is currently being done.
Okay.
The other thing also we changed is that it was maybe not really clear, but there was a slight speed penalty when you were cooking the bottle. It was 9%. We thought that maybe he needed this because maybe it was too easy for him to catch on Survivor, but the penalty was so minor that we decided to remove it, and I think it's a great change also. The other thing we changed also is the Smelly Inner Soul and the Vitcher Spawn. They went from 15% to 20 and 25% to 35, increase speed when reloading. So you are less hindered by your reload action.
Okay. Okay, so someone is talking about the changes to the hatch play. We're not going to get into that
It is
today,
more-
but we'll talk
yeah.
about it in the next.
I was not really involved in this.
Yeah, but that leads me to something. The Q&As, obviously, we're not doing the Q&A right now, which we usually did on the streams. The Q&As are now going to be held, there's on Reddit and on the official forums. You'll see all the information on the official forums if you want to ask questions and have your answers. So it's done in a much more in-depth manner. So we do take all of these questions and we get the answers from the right people, and we put them either like we did a video a couple of weeks ago, or we will put those in very firm documents instead of doing it on the fly like this, where sometimes we didn't end up with the right answers. There you go. Anything else we want to add at this
I
point?
have one last thing.
Oh,
Maybe you want. No.
I don't
No,
know.
just
Yeah, because we
Scared.
sort of talked about a change about Tinker
Yes.
a while ago. It is still explored because I know that Tinker currently affects some add-on of the clowns. It's not something that we wanted, but it's something that happened by default. But the problem with Tinker is that I don't know if you're aware, or was explained, is that each time we create a new killer, we need to make sure that all the add-ons that we do that should be affected by this work properly, and sometimes it takes time. So, and the bigger or killer clown base become, the longer it's gonna take to support just one perk.
Yeah.
That's not the idea of how we want to create the perk. So we need to revisit this. And all the add-ons that currently work with Tinker are currently being rebalanced to be interesting enough without Tinker. So they should just all get a little boost. But I can present also like the change that we are thinking of doing to Tinker, the perk.
okay. And
to
this is
be-
a maybe.
Yes,
change.
exactly.
It's not happening now. Don't
Because-
expect it in the next patch.
Yes, exactly, because there's a little...
That's fine. I have
But-
to put disclaimers everywhere.
That's good. So the Tinker change, listen up. So when a generator is repaired at 90% of its progression, the killer, you receive a noise notification and your terror radius is reduced to 0 for 10, 15, or 20 seconds. So it's sort of a sneaky perk. The problem we have is that a lot of people really like it, but is it really a good fit for the BD? Like, does it make
Yeah.
sense? Like, it sounds too magical.
Thematically, yeah.
So we're looking at maybe an alternative to the terror radius. But yeah, so let us know what you think.
Yeah.
No, I'm done.
Okay, you're
Yeah,
done for real?
Done.
You have anything
think-
else you want to add?
No, I'm good.
You're happy?
Yeah, I'm happy.
Okay,
I'm
good.
actually happy too.
Why is he allowed to keep his sheet and not me? on
Because
the table.
I don't know.
I'm the noise maker.
Oh boy.
Like it's an iPad, but
I think it's because people expect Phil to be a little disturbing.
Okay.
It's part of his persona. There you go. Not too much, just a little bit. All right, so there will be a survey coming out about the stuff in the PTB. Stay tuned. We're going to post that on the official forums. Obviously, all the information should be got there. So if I didn't mention it enough right now, go register for the official forums. That's where you'll get all the information about the upcoming survey and also about everything that's happening with the anniversary and release dates when we talk about them. So people who are asking about release dates, when we have a release date, you will be the first to know. So there. Other than that, thank you very much for coming up and showing up on the stream and coming to see us and listening to our ramblings for 45 minutes. It was fun. Thanks, Francois, for your great job once more. Thank you to the mods helping me in the Discord channel, and thank you to the mods in the chat. Everybody, we will see you next week for the anniversary, the 2nd year anniversary stream. I think there will be confetti.
yeah.
I'm not sure.
Noise.
There might
confetti,
just be a noise maker or something. I'll bring an air horn or something.
firework.
That's very dangerous, especially in this small room. Okay, I'll look into that. So yeah, that's all I got for today. We say goodbye now.
Okay, bye.
Bye.